And that draft also of match 2 had a lot of similarities, I think, to Rivals' composition when they ran Collis as the Achilles support and they had Vote on the Chiron, and the Aphrodite. It was fantastic, but that felt like a draft that Rival won with against Dignitas in their own finals. And then to have it used against them in a sense, it's got to be a little bit of a morale blow there.
Yeah, going to be a little bit tough to swallow for Rival as they take the first selection here straight up. And like Watako said, what could be their last game, but if you ask anybody in the Smite scene, and I mean anybody, the best team at fighting from down or behind, I think everybody's going to give you the answer, Team Rival.
Yeah, they know how to scrap, doesn't it? That's what it feels like, even within the game and in the set itself. Yeah. It feels like that's what that Rival team is sort of able to do. But a key distinction to make here between this one and their set where they came against Dignitas is they're able to come out of the gates pretty well in that set against Dignitas. Dignitas kind of made that blunder. They were able to save the game right at the end to go in for the win. NRG, not only are they looking strong, I don't see any blunders coming from this NRG squad, any sort of gifted games to give Rival back that momentum. They have got to snatch it from this NRG team.
But check out those bands. Rival gunning straight for EmilZy on their what could be their last chance. Fafnir and Terra off the table. Don't want to have to worry about the Earth and Fury. Don't want the Fafnir to complement a double hunter composition, and Thoth for the first pick just to make sure Yammyn doesn't get it.
This is the most serious, upset, negative, pick your word, that I've ever seen Team Rival. Losing, these guys are still jovial. Losing, these guys are still about it. I go back to when they lost to Team Dignitas in summer finals in, that was Valencia, Spain, I believe. And they lost, and they were just like, hey, we're happy, and, you know, this, that, or third. They are unhappy right now. Their play is not standing up. And, you know, I think there's a lot of people at home, even Vote. I think there's a lot of people at home that are saying, look, if Alpha Jackal was here, things would be different. I got to say, Finch, I'm not sure that's the case. Let's touch on the picks real quick. Thoth, Rat, and Ram for Team Rival. 3 very powerful picks. NRG go with the Chernobog and Serqet. But Taco, I heard you give the old oof.
It's just there is definitely something to be said about the obvious player cam perspective.
Yeah.
Very stark differences between these two teams in terms of the overall team aura that they seem to be giving off. But Rival, I think that this might be the first moment where Rival has actually realized they might not be number 1 anymore. And I think that is a fairly intimidating factor to have to consider when you're up against NRG in this knockout situation in the finals. I think that them prioritizing mid-jungle hunter is probably the most important stance they could have taken here, because Ice is desperately needed a top priority pick. He's constantly been waiting until the end of these drafts in order to grab his own, and I think that here finally we can have a chance to see a little bit more of that Rival energy come into light.
But this is a scary first 3 picks that NRG have been able to select. We just saw emilitoo play this new Wa at a great level, even with a little bit of extra focus. We know what Adapt can do in Serqet. The Chernobog sort of global presence was a little bit too much for Rival as well. I understand they got the Thoth and the Ratatoskr. Those are high priority picks, yes, but they're giving over the ones that not only are strong, but the NRG just showed they can beat them with. I mean, this is tough if you're on the side of Rival. Ice on this Rat is good for them early on. Some great synergy with the Thoth. They just got to make sure they execute.
They might even just continue to ban Guardians, though, in Rival's position. Kumbhakarna has been, I think, one of the more overlooked picks this land.
Yes.
And also Sobek, which was one that we saw EmilZy represent not too long ago. But Kumbha can definitely help to shut down some of those double hunter compositions with the Chernobog and Nuwa. I think that there is a lot of necessity for NRG to go very frontline heavy here.
NRG has been on the cusp for a long time of just returning to greatness. EmilZy picked up, took a little while to sort of get the ball rolling, but this man on your screen right here, Coach Rowe, coming from the Oceania region, he's been along for the ride in competitive smites and for a number of years now. I got the opportunity to actually commentate alongside with him when I went down to PAX Australia for their regional championships last year, and this guy, he stopped playing competitively for a moment, but he never stopped thinking about the game competitively. He's honestly, for my money, one of the better minds, and I think that coach aspect, I think that Ro's presence is what's tipping NRG over the edge and bringing us back to what could be the era of NRG.
It's starting to look like they're back to that dominance as 7 Guardians overall, the ones taken away in those ban phases, and you still get to get Sylvanus and Geb. You're feeling all right, but I'm definitely taking a look here at this Sun Wukong. I mean, that's got to be going over to Deathwalker. We know this is something that he likes to play, likes to be aggressive on, and rotate around the map early. They also have the Geb to go with it, too, so that means they can very easily protect this Thoth and make sure he's doing damage from the back line. This feels like a lot around Wlfy in the mid lane on this Thoth.
My concern, though, for Rival's composition up against NRG's is that, yet again, they're throwing their side lanes into these losing matchups in a sense where they're not going to be able to out-pressure their oppositions directly. They're going to need a little bit of assistance from iceicebaby, and knowing NRG and the amount of focus that they've already been diverting towards solo specifically, I would not be hard-pressed to expect that iceicebaby is going to find himself being lured over to that solo lane also, and that duo might suffer horribly for it.
You know, I said, wow, while you guys were talking. Last pick Chulainn for maniaKK.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, what a world. Mixer chat, who's gonna win? And I phrase that question as simply as possible because the answer might just be that simple. I mean, game 1 and 2 have been absolute dominance, and NRG, they're working on all cylinders. They've got maniaKK on Chulainn. Right now, looking at these two drafts, Rival, I think, are in a better position than they have been all series. Ratatoskr in the jungle, Rama in the hands of Vote, and Thoth on Wlfy, or vice versa. There's a lot of strength here for both squads. Rival are going to be looking for mid to late game. NRG are going to decide when they want to do it. One-word answers. Finch, who wins?
NRG.
Taco, who wins?
NRG did not like missing Springland.
Analysts think it's all going to be 3 games. Hindu, Ryan, take us away.
Well, let's hope, for hope's sake, that it's not all just 3 games. Come on, Rival!
We're rooting for them. At least for better games.
I'm looking at NRG's company. I'm like, I don't see it happening. I'm
Neither
looking at Rival's
man.
faces, and I'm like, I don't see it happening. They don't look confident. They don't look happy.
No, they don't. And I think that FDOT was talking about it on the desk, and he's right. I've never seen Rival this dejected. Including on the world stage when they were down, elimination game against E United. They still felt really confident. This team has always had confidence. Always. Even back to the Cyclone days, whenever they were at their group stages, I will never forget iceicebaby. We were doing player interviews with every player. iceicebaby, I literally barely heard of the guy. I'll be real with you.
Sure.
I sat down at the group stage, and we had a list of questions. I said, who's the best jungler in your group? NRG was in the group. The answer was adapting. He said, me. I'm the best jungler in this group. And you know what's the craziest part about it is he actually thought that. And at this point, you can make the argument that he would have been the best jungler in that group if we ever do it again. But not now, man. I mean, it's just the confidence level isn't there.
Season 5 has really been interesting. The level of competition has always been there, but it's never been tighter than this, although NRG are starting to expose teams once more that we've seen previously. Almost back to their best. They're sick of losing, and now they have 3 game, set, and match points in a row for Rival to have to go up against.
Now, the good news for Rival, if there is any, is that historically, NRG, whenever they start losing, can let it get to them a little bit. So that's going to be up to Ro if this is a tough loss to make sure that NRG stay even-keeled in these sorts of opportunities. Rival is also the most stubborn damn team on the planet to kill, and so I've got a feeling that they're gonna draw this one out one way or the other.
Adapting, gonna give a kiss to iceicebaby and take away half his health, but Iceice doesn't panic, just returns the acorns in favor and goes back to farming away again. But nice little pressure out of Adapting, just making sure Iceice is aware that Serqet's going to be everywhere this game.
Serqet has been everywhere so far this tournament as well, and that's why I think you and I are both so bullish on this composition, is that Serqet has kind of been the end-all be-all in a lot of games, it's felt like. And not only do they get that, but they get the Chernobog as well for Yammyn. The Nuwa ADC, sure, it's really whatever at this point.
A lot of this comes down to, though, how well Yammyn can play top as well. Rival went for a composition here, but they have to take Thoth, otherwise they give it to Yammyn. And we've been discussing, I think Yammyn is the best Thoth player in the world right now. Wlfy's great, but Yammyn's just on another level with that gun.
And the only one close to him is Zeros. And you and I were talking about this draft beforehand, and you're right. They have to take it away from Yammyn.
Yeah.
But I just see, if I'm NRG, I see first pick Thoth, and we've got Chernobog Serqet on the table. I mean, I'm giddy.
Blink from Adapting, looking to steal the buff. The pressure onto iceicebaby's here. And Ice early beats to try and avoid some of the aggression as maniaKK was around the area. But now, NRG have overextended. Adapting being chased by Deathwalker, but Wlfy meanwhile poking down maniaKK, who's still alive. Both on the other hand is one hit away, but a good roll gets him away from the extra autos coming out from emilitoo.
Sprint was used there by NRG, but didn't end up paying off. Well, I don't know why Wlfy went on maniaKK at that spot. The full health of Chulainn against when you've got the option of stunning out potentially a Serqet that is half HP and has used Deathbane and Ambush at that point. One that had no beads either. That was surprising to me, but maybe the target call wasn't quite there.
iceicebaby doesn't have his beads anymore, but neither does Adapting have his blink. Speed buff is up on this right-hand side for Adapting, but iceicebaby can't hang around long enough.
No, but that's a play that I'm talking about, where during the regular season, I think iceicebaby goes for that steal, because he knows that he's got the health advantage and the mana advantage.
And instead, he's going to be able to pick up maniaKK as the collapse from Wlfy from the mid lane helps out with the pressure from the Chulainn that was looking to invade the blue. maniaKK gets punished, and it actually gives iceicebaby a nice little window back into this game already.
So even though he doesn't go for the speed buff invade, he instead comes back and punishes maniaKK, who just makes the same mistake that Deathwalker made in Game 2. Invading a blue buff when you've got no chance of jungler help, especially when you don't have any ward coverage to see if Wlfy's going to be there or anything like that. That's a rough mistake there for maniaKK.
And now you can see, because of that, iceicebaby will have full boots online, or full acorn, as we should call it. Adapting, though, is on this side, and Callis didn't recognize it as he loses half his health. Good knock-up to slow it down. Yammyn's on his way in. Swoop, there it is, but it's only going to get the bead, surprisingly enough, out of Vote. Vote was a little bit worried about the full combo there from Yammyn.
Don't even know if Vote had his roll down. I thought he had it up and ready, but decides to use it either way, so Yammyn's ultimate at least gets some sort of payoff, as he was the only one who had a chance to use his ultimate in that team fight. Everyone else was sitting at level 4.
Well, look at the difference now between iceicebaby and Adapting. Because of this pressure from Adapting that he's looking to put across the map, iceicebaby has just continuously farmed, found that free kill on the right-hand side, and now he finds himself with his ultimate looking to aggress in the enemy jungle. It
really all comes down to that failed speed buff invade that Adapting had. If he was able to steal that from Iceice, that would have put him very far ahead of the enemy jungler, but because Ice is able to secure it and Adapting lost a lot of farm opportunities by going for it, it has set him very far behind. And Ice has a ward on that enemy's speed. He should have rough timing as is. And with that ultimate, he's full HP. Look how he's hanging around this right side just in case he sees that speed buff respawn.
emilZy going for reinforced boots here on the Sylvanus, whereas Callis with the Shoes of Focus for the extra cooldown reduction. This is definitely just worried about who's going to get focused and when, right? Because it seems the supports, if they realize they're going to be the ones that could be pressured continuously, they're going to be a little bit tankier, whereas if they're not, they're going to go for CDR.
emilZy, CCR won't help you in that spot when you get knocked up by that rollout, but certainly makes him tanky enough to dissuade any aggression from Wlfy in the mid lane. You won't be able to all-in commit onto a Sylvanus at this point in the game anyways with just a Geb and a Thoth. You're going to need some help from iceicebaby.
maniaKK still pressuring this right-hand side. The blue buff already down, but Adapting and emilZy on the rotation to this right-hand side. Plenty of wall coverage down from both sides, but Rival definitely control the middle area a bit more so. But still, even with that wall coverage, Wlfy's going to die to the dots.
He got his dash. emilZy's insane. He's absolutely nuts. He caught the evade and punish right away. And who just walks up and he walked up slowly and Sylvanus ulted, and it paid off.
Just didn't see him. Deathwalker now just trying to survive under his tier 1 tower. Make sure they can't take it down completely. maniaKK gets a bit more damage than he bargained for, but it'll be okay. He's got a couple of health potions there. NRG still trying to keep the heat going from game 1.
Pressure
and
on
game 2.
Yeah, and game 2.
And game 3 the other day, and game 4 the day before. Oh my God.
They've had a lot of pressure, basically, going on that Rival right now. And I think that Rival, at this point, game 2, I feel like they had a lot of pressure on them to win, because it's like, okay, we got to break it now. Honestly, after getting blown out the first 2 games of the set, after getting blown out the set before that as well, I wonder if it kind of puts Rival at ease, where it's like, we're probably not going to win. Let's just play. And maybe that's exactly the sort of mindset they need, and not put that much pressure on themselves to find a victory here.
I know after the tournament, if this doesn't go Rival's way, they will eventually come out and say exactly what went wrong. Callus blinked on by adapting to full community. Burst damage from Yammyn's good too. But Callus's shield keeps him up.
Man.
Beautiful pacing though from
That's so
NRG.
nuts.
Just spreading to make sure no one gets hit by the Cataclysm. But now, Rival's back.
Yammyn very low, but still had his dash. emilZy body blocking there just in case. But this is right as speed buff is starting to respawn. Deathwalker's here and awfully healthy.
Deathwalker with a Jingu Bang on 3 targets, still pressuring them down. Into the sky goes iceicebaby. emilZy gets his ultimate off and still alive for now. But Deathwalker looking at Yammyn and gets a completely free kill there. Nothing NRG could do about it. They lose the kill on Yammyn and they lose the speed.
He's still hunting as well, looking for a lazy back potentially, and might find someone. He might get 2 here, but a perfect route from emilitoo is going to force him back, and he takes the tower shot. Not like this.
It's just all going wrong right now. You saw cover in the background. You can see him in iceicebaby's cam there, just hand on head. This is not working out for Rival at the moment. Just giving NRG free windows into this game.
I really don't think Ice dies unless he takes that tower shot.
No,
I think he survives.
It's just unfortunate position, and it happens to the best of us. But on the grand stage, it's awkward to watch, that's for sure. Deathwalker trying to punish maniaKK for taking that tier 1 tower, but a beautifully timed ultimate from that Portuguese man there to make sure the Tiger Stun does not climb the storm.
Even with Ice taking that really, really unfortunate death, he is still really far ahead of adapting. There is a silver lining here, is that adapting is very far behind, 2.5 levels at this point.
Ultimate used by Wlfy just to contest those right-hand harpies. It's not something to see too much out of Wlfy doing that either, so shows how this game's really feeling for these boys right now as they're just trying to farm up. Working to it's more than likely the Chronos pendant here, Wlfy, for that extra cooldown reduction.
On the Ra, you'll see that a lot from Wlfy, because it's such a low cooldown. With Thoth, only has 10% CDR at the time. That definitely says exactly how Rival feel like the spot they feel like they're in.
Still the Rival pressuring this right-hand side. They got the last speed buff. They're looking for the next one after the blue was taken away from NRG 2. Callus rolling into mid lane. Says hello to emilZy, the only way Geb knows how to. But nothing more will come from that from now. Build's coming along. Once again, Yammyn on these hunters, which screams Worlds 1, Worlds 2 to me.
Oh, I know. Speed buff coming up again, and look at this. Look at the setup now. Adapting doesn't even think about heading over there early enough to try and get it. He'll hear that happening, and the ultimate as well by emilitoo will let him know that his speed is without a doubt gone.
Yeah, with a 3-man rotation from Rival, NRG just have to accept it, but Deathwalker is under pressure. His bird form was already down. That ultimate will prevent the healing out of Deathwalker there, and he is still ticking down damage, as you can see. He's going to get out of dodge quick, and a big shell, big ultimate from Callus, but in comes Yammyn.
Oh, Yammyn just bursts Wlfy, makes it look easy as Ice distracting on the backside, but now he's left alone. Cobra's Kiss can't quite reach. Tower's already down, remember? And iceicebaby's gonna be next.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, you see Vote and emilitoo both rotating over as Vote's trying to find the kill on emilitoo. He needs one more shot, can't find it. Vote rolls in, gets the kill, but now he's gonna deal with Yammyn. And Yammyn will get a delayed double kill off the back of that engagement.
Pull just off the mark there from emilZy, but Kalas was there to try and help shield Vote. Couldn't get enrage in time, and this should be a Pyromancer for NRG Esports. Yammyn just doing too much on this Chernobog right now.
Needs a bit of help there, a bit overextended, but he bought enough time for the Pyromancer to fall down. So the gold lead goes the way of NRG again, same as game 1, same as game 2. At 11 minutes in, it's not enough to separate Rival. Now you've seen them fight from behind many a time.
It's the Chernobog. That's really where this all comes down to for me. 3-1-1 so far for Yammyn. He has been the emergency save button for a lot of these engagements.
Press Alt.
Press Alt, receive kills, basically, is the way it's going right now for this Chernobog. And I said it while we were on the desk for eUnited and Rival yesterday, where it's going to be very interesting to see with a lot of options open, where this team thinks that the best pick is right now, the meta-defining selection in the first pick slot. Rival punishes eUnited because eUnited first picked Athena instead of picking Chernobog, and Chernobog carried the game. This is 2 games in a row now where Chernobog was
just
open.
Didn't know Adapting was on this side of the map, and he walked straight into danger. Luckily enough, he's got Callus in support, but now Callus and Vote both low. emilitoo, where's that ultimate of doom?
Outskilled kill for emilitoo on the Vote. Kalas nearly fell as well.
Nearly did, but it was just good enough again. Adapting just recognizing beads was used by Vote. In the last little skirmish, ultimate probably not available in time. Vote falls down as Yammyn now having to deal with iceicebaby, who's focusing on farm, which I think is the right call here.
Could be looking at emilitoo here, indeed he is. Knockup is there. Final Judgment will take out Adapting, but emilitoo still escapes.
Okay, Rival, we're coming back in, but they're still going to deal with maniaKK, who's made this rotation. Tier 1 tower down on the right-hand side already means he can rotate around a little bit more freely here as Oracles go the way of NRG Esports.
Deathwalker is building Soul Eater. He went Mage's Blessing Wukong straight into Soul Eater, and I've watched him do this on stream where he's having fun. I did not expect to see it come out here at LAN, but when you're up against the ropes, you got to throw at anything you can, I suppose.
So what's the benefit of this Soul Eater? Why are we seeing it?
So it does give him a lot of mana, and it does give him the ability to use his abilities quite often. And instead of building for tanky defense, he's kind of using his kit as his way of survival, where he can use that 72 transformations, knock up a team, use the extra speed from the bird form, and then somersault cloud to keep himself safe. But he's really looking to just do as much damage as possible because they're trying to rush down energy. Rival's composition here is to try and let Kalas do all the protecting for them, fairly similar to the Chunga that we saw earlier on, where they're not looking for Deathwalker to be necessarily a big frontline target, but to do damage and absorb some cooldowns, but most importantly, stay alive. And Kalas is kind of solo tanking right now.
Right-hand side, Believer falls. iceicebaby just a hair too late to contest. Will say Wlfy finding that final judgment in the jungle around there was a good sign for Rival. They're going to need those to get back in this game, but he's under pressure again. Beads down, dotted away, but Callus's blink gives him a shield, protects him enough, and iceicebaby for the turnaround.
Yammyn was ready for it, but final judgment still hit Adapting and Yammyn. That will dissuade this fight for NRG, but still got a lot there out of Team Rival.
In comes Deathwalker, but rooted in place, forced to ult defensively. Couldn't find the pressure as maniaKK was looking for the anti-heal. Couldn't find it that time round. iceicebaby, though, still on this left-hand side looking at red buff.
Ice has been the saving grace right now. Blink forward. He got his dash!
And the beads are down too. Kiss straight after the fact. Beautiful play from Adapting. Wlfy is an option here now. What a great play.
Again, that's twice in this game that a member of Team Rival has had their dash stuffed by NRG, and a lot of that is skill. A degree of luck involved as well, and it just feels like it's NRG's day, doesn't it? Everything seems to be going their way.
Seems to be their year is how it's going now. Obviously, they didn't manage to make it through to spring, but that just seems to have revitalized this NRG roster. They've stepped it up. They've put in the scrum practices. They've got a semi-gaming house. They just got back from a gaming house for scrim practice for this tournament, and you can see it's really paying off for them.
Huge. I mean, they look like a completely different squad than what we saw during the spring. Their teamwork is just so much better, and that's what roster changes will do to you. It takes some time, but clearly Rival is going to have to try and play catch-up now to NRG now that they've reached what might not even be their final form.
Quite true, and I think this is a good wake-up call for Rival too, to be like, hey, you may not be resting on your laurels, but don't think about it, because there will always be a team to challenge you every single time.
Yes.
emilZy going to go for the pull just off the mark there as the Oracles both go the way of Rival here, so that's good news for them. Keeping vision of that Wlfy. It's not a very heavy composition from NRG at securing Wlfy quickly. Definitely favoring Rival there, so it's quite fine to allow NRG to start it up and then look to strip it away.
Rival has been the ones to start up objectives, and you hope that it goes their way a lot, and a lot of times it does, but the fight usually has not. I wonder if they're going to change that this time around, if they're going to try and stay away from objectives, or at least be the initiators on the objectives.
I think it's time to look at that, because that's where the issue's been 2 games in a row. 2 Wlfy fights that both times NRG got pretty much a D-assign both times that resulted in them actually just breaking the game wide open because of it.
And a lot of it was not just the fact that the fight was happening at all, but that Rival was getting so spread out during those team fights and just not being on the same targets consistently, not peeling for each other very well. And that's where this team, they rose to prominence because of their teamwork together. And just because you all got really good individually now at this point, doesn't mean you can let that strength go away.
Rival know that Adaption's around his side. Deathwalker's still baiting to bring him in. iceicebaby to the sky. maniaKK has his ultimate available, about to rage out, but no chance of that. Cool down, Sunshine. Adapting couldn't really do anything there. If he committed, he may have got a kill, but he would have traded his life.
Adapting's all by himself here, and he'll leap away to safety. maniaKK's lighting phase still a worry for me at times.
I love what Adapting did there too. Wait for the wall to get dropped by Wlfy. As soon as the wall goes down, it's like, okay, this is where Thoth can hit to. Peace, I'm out of here.
Gold Fury started, and no ward coverage here for NRG, but they can just smell it going on. EmilZy gonna try and get in there, but Gold Fury's already pretty low.
A little bit of a tricky one this for NRG to really contest. Rival get the Gold Fury. emilitoo ate the final judgment, but it wasn't a whole lot of damage because emilitoo's level 17 at the moment. And he just means he's got bare bone stats that are pretty solid, whereas Deathwalker in mid lane, no ultimate available, no life available. Yammyn credited with a kill as multiple ultimates rain down.
I don't know what Deathwalker ate this week, but he should eat something different next time they come to land. This has not been his performance to remember. This set in particular, I think, has not been his best, and that has been rough for him thus far. I mean, that pathing is just bad.
Awkward situation to be in as Rival then. As the gold lead starting to stretch again as the Pyromancer falls for NRG. Granted, it's not a lot of gold, but a little bit more mobility out of base makes it a little bit easier for them to get back in the action. Next up, though, is this Tier 1 tower, because 4 members of NRG have all grouped up here already.
For all the lead that iceicebaby has, Yammyn has one of his own, and Ice gonna try and hunt him down. Has that through the Cosmos. Aegis is there from emilitoo.
And Callis is already dead. Adapting picks up that kill. Yammyn and emilitoo still alive, take the Tier 1 tower. Both here as is maniaKK, but double beats were consumed. Ice under pressure. maniaKK still wants this kill. If he can just get a bit more damage off, but no, Ice will escape.
Warcry still up now for maniaKK, but he's trying to get out as Tier 2 tower. A little bit too ambitious right now from NRG. Instead, they'll back it up and head towards the right-hand side where maybe that weakened Tier 2 isn't too ambitious.
Yeah, it seems to be the case. They're going to use emilitoo. He's got those clay minions with those massive old sausages to whack away at the tower and bring down a Tier 2. Nobody here in time from Rival to defend. Another bit of bonus gold into the coffers of NRG Esports.
Deathwalker might not let everyone back, and this could be maybe a weird Fire Giant pull opportunity here from Rival, with NRG all needing to back at once to spend their gold. And there's no ward vision. This could be a very Rival Fire Giant call, but it looks like they're going for mid tower instead.
Yeah, a Rival Tier 1 in mid, maybe even a Tier 2. They did this last time round, about the same sort of timing here. Still all grouped as 5, but with both back in, there won't be any further aggression towards that middle lane. Instead, it's opened a window for iceicebaby to take away a bit of experience from NRG's jungle. Purple buff is just spawned in time too, and then some farm on the left-hand side.
Don't get me wrong, that would have been a bad Fire Giant pull. But I could see that, you know, with the status that Rival's in right now,
they might try it.
They might try it. They might try and go for something desperate.
I'm looking at the levels, and the one thing that's clear to me is how NRG and Rival have changed the way the game's played again. Once upon a time, it was the mid laners that had huge leads. But look at these hunters, well, these duo laners, should we put it that way?
Yes.
emilitoo and Vote are both level 18 already. We're starting to see them get more free farm once again, with more attention from the support being paid towards the middle lane.
And that's where Season 5 is so much fun. You have that opportunity to play the game that your team can play at best, and regardless of the way the meta is, you can change that pretty easily by just playing very well with the tools that you can give to your team.
Deathwalker just boxing out emilZy a little bit here. He doesn't really panic. Tiger form used again for the stun onto the tree. 3 targets trying to bring him down, but with a Lotus Crown and the Hot Ward Amulet, the damage dealer Wlfy isn't going to do that whole much there. The other two are pretty much tanks.
emilitoo's going to split push this left side, is reminiscent of Game 2.
I'm just like flashbacks.
Yeah, exactly. Emil should be able to get this Tier 2 uncontested, but I don't know that NRG can stop this tier 2 on right from going down for Rival.
Deathwalker goes in on emilZy, sets up Wlfy for a bit of poke. Mid lane though, look at adapting. iceicebaby's here on defense on his own. And blinks in, beads consumed. And that's gonna be him spinning in victory. Not from Wlfy's, iceicebaby's point of view, I should say. Tier 2 on levels, and they're looking at a Phoenix.
I think they might be able to get this Phoenix too, but Voda's already backed. Okay, so no way they get that one. Yammyn is in mid. He gets another tier 2. That's twice in a row now that Rivals traded 2 tier 2s for 1 tier 2. And I'm not great at math, but I think I'd take the 2 tier 2s.
The last time I saw Rival in these sort of predicaments, having these sort of issues, were when they were called Cyclone.
No, hold on. They didn't sign with Rival and immediately become world beaters. It took them some time to level up, and they still had their fair share of growing pains once joining Rival, but it was around the time where they were Cyclone for sure.
But
what seems to have happened here is that NRG have always gone for these more mobile compositions that are pulling and pushing Rival around, and Rival are just like, okay, well, we'll try and take a tier 2. And that means NRG's like, well, we'll take 2 tier 2s. If you want to play those games, we can play it.
Look, but here's the thing. It's not like this is, you know, a regular season game where these were just the scheduled teams and this is what had to happen. Rival smacked United yesterday in order to earn their right to get here.
Good ultimate out from Callus, but the Magi's cloak came up big for adapting, and while those ultimates were consumed, the rest of his team managed to take themselves a Gold Fury. But the sound of the Gold Fury dying, Rival are grouped to this right-hand side here. They can't really do anything with Wlfy being in the mid lane at the moment.
No Cataclysm either means it's really hard to take these jungle fights. Adapting's poked, but that's what emilZy's here for. You can easily heal him up. Looks like
NRG do want to fight. emilZy's looking for a pull if he can find one there. As the minions on the right-hand side pushed up in favor of Rival, means that someone's going to go there for NRG to defend. Pyromancer spawned, and Rival are doing a Rival.
They might try and commit onto this. maniaKK gonna leap right in. No, Rival does reset as Yammyn living nightmare straight onto Wlfy.
And it's all about Wlfy. Good start onto adapting, but adapting still under pressure onto Wlfy. The poison's ticking away, but the Aegis bought him enough time. Adapting jumps over the wall, and maniaKK will kill him with the Ventanga. Meanwhile, Boat is getting very low, and Deathwalker takes out Yammyn. Now that's a big kill. Couple of members of NRG starting to fall.
Very close. Adapting gets Vote and is able to scamper away. This right side, emilitoo gonna try and get chased down by Deathwalker. maniaKK trying to handle the support. Who cares if Kalas falls? Rival is killing everybody else.
It's about time Rival win a team fight, and why do they do it? They don't try and rival the objective. They know NRG's gonna commit, so they just reset and go, okay, we know you're gonna fight, we'll fight too. Callus has to use his ult to give himself a window from maniaKK, but maniaKK's not done chasing just yet.
He should be. There's no way he catches him. He had Blink coming up in just a second, but by that time that would have been ready. Rollout gave Kalas' CC immunity and gets him back to base. A 3 for 2 in Rival's favor, but it's something. It's just something. Wlfy never gets his ultimate off in that team fight. NRG do everything in their power to make sure that he falls before he can get any sort of relevant damage. And even with that, Rival still won the fight.
The main thing from Wlfy's point of view, though, is he bought so much time. The use of his beads, the use of his Aegis, just allowed his team to clean up the backline a little bit there while he was being all in by adapting and maniaKK. And that's kind of sometimes what you need to do as the mid lane mage.
Look, you'll hear me get very angry with some mid laners saying you got to get your ultimate off every fight. Even if you're going to die, no matter what they use, you have to get your ultimate off. I truly don't think there was a half a second window for him to use it. Everything was used on him, and sometimes you just have to take that and hope your team does the rest of the work for you, and that's what Rival did.
And with that, it's still a 4K lead for NRG Esports, but it shows that Rival can still take a team fight and sometimes actually come out on top.
There's life.
Pyromancer, though, is still available, and Callus and Vote pulled it momentarily. But with the looming presence of NRG, it's going to slow things down for a moment. The dance of the fire begins.
No towers left standing, and that's not that bad for Rival considering their gold deficit. They can catch up by just knocking down the towers on NRG's side of the map. They've been farming pretty well so far.
Yeah, it's one thing about the towers being down, though, there's nowhere to fall back to. So if anything, commit and survive in the jungle. Good pull from emilZy, but it wasn't to a Wukong who can just Oxform back to safety. And now Wlfy under pressure again. No beads, no Aegis, and the ultimate from Callus bought so much time. emilZy gets credit for the deal, but adapting good pull.
Got it off. That time Final Judgment did some work. Kalas very low, has to shield himself as Deathwalker can go right onto
Yammyn.
emilitoo, and that's big damage onto the Nuwa.
Yammyn needed one more auto, but the roll from Vote was good. Roll out from Callus to get away from the danger on the right. iceicebaby, though, is dueling with maniaKK, and maniaKK will pick up that kill.
That
emilitoo
shield
was after Vote, but in the end, they'll trade out 1 for 1. Deathwalker still alive, chased down by Yammyn and emilZy. 2 members still on the map. maniaKK, though, flanking Deathwalker.
That shield from Kalas was the pure definition of clutch. Vote was getting hunted by emilitoo. Emil was hiding in his own fog, weaved through some auto attacks, and then shot off that shining metal.
Oh no.
But he survived because of that shield.
And Yammyn, because the Hunter is still alive, the Hunter can do this FG. Deathwalker's going to commit here. He realizes it's only half health, so he's going to waste a bit of time from NRG. And that's exactly what he needed, but he's put himself in an awkward spot. Yammyn is swinging just too hard. Callus, though, is back. Wlfy on the way, and NRG cannot get the fire jump.
Look, I was critical of Deathwalker earlier whenever he died in mid and the way that he's played so far this set. That is a necessary death to stop the Fire Giant from going down for NRG. It does not matter that Deathwalker dies in that spot. His job is to stop the Fire Giant going down by any means necessary, and he did his job.
Team fight starting to step up for Rival just a little bit more now. This composition is going to shine best in the team fights. And Callus, he's 0-2-4 right now, but he's made some very clutch plays in this game
He's
so
been
far.
huge. He's been absolutely massive so far for Rival. And basically outside of some insane play, if they win this game, Kalas has got to be MVP in my book. Ice did a great job of getting ahead early, but has been shut down since. It's been all Kalas since then.
iceice on his own up front is a little bit risky with both his relics down at the moment.
He's got his bubble.
Meanwhile, though, Wlfy Vote, good news for them. They do have their relics available for this fight, because the last one was where it was made more awkward. iceicebaby, though, on the right-hand side, gonna come in and check the Fire Giant, reset from NRG as they focus on Callus, and the great pull from emilZy will bring down Geb, and this could cause more problems for Rival.
Living Nightmare used by Yammyn. Vote has to go up into the sky, but Yammyn's gonna be waiting for him when he lands.
He jumps the wall! Avoids the ult from iceicebaby, and Vote lands down into the ultimate from adapting to. iceicebaby dashes away, but Deathwalker and Wlfy in the jungle, there's not much they can do here. Do you contest the Fire Giant?
I don't think so. Without Final Judgment or through the Cosmos, it feels it feels a little useless to try and contest at that point. You just got to try and take a fight underneath your Phoenix. Thoth is so good at defending underneath the Phoenix. Rom can be good in those spots. Geb is great at defending underneath Phoenixes. That's where Rival's going to have to make their last stand.
In spring, Rival went through a similar situation against Dignitas, losing the first time they faced off in the upper bracket 3-0, and then headed to the finals and fought back for victory. But this time round, NRG's not allowing this whatsoever. They are closing the door, and not in a slow sense either.
No, there's no, are your hands inside? You know, everything good? Okay, I'll see you later.
It's just not.
They just are slamming the door right now. Rival now down 10,000 gold, nearly about half that in experience, but experience is pretty much irrelevant at this point because everyone's nearing level 20.
So scary when you look at Europe now. I mean, Rival losing to NRG here. Rival looking at one of the best teams, been to both lands so far this year. World Championships, made it to the finals for the first time from their point of view. And then you've got, well, NRG, who were in a bit of a slump coming into summer. Now, just a few moments away, if this continues, of taking the summer finals away from Rival convincingly.
And emilitoo has reached full build Nuwa status, which is an absolute nightmare to deal with, especially with Soul Gem and Rod of Tahuti spreading that empowered fire shards throughout the entire team. Like, good luck surviving that. He's played so well this game, and more importantly than that, NRG has played really well with him. That fight around Fire Giant all starts because emilZy hides in the fog. Kalas thinks there's no one in it, and then emilZy pops out, roots him, pulls him afterwards. Yammyn was there to set up for that CC as well, but it's all enabled by this new WAD. NRG is playing with it really well.
Fog is one of those things that a lot of people underestimate, but it brings just an extra bit of a tactical advantage to the team that has her. All the towers are down, so NRG are going to siege this left-hand Phoenix. Fog for cover, play minions in first, emilZy hiding inside with a Magi's Cloak, plenty of them for the supports involved here too. as the poke damage starting to rain out from the Odysseus bow here from both teams. Just trying to poke him out a little bit.
And this is where that Nuwa siege is really good, but the siege defense from Wlfy is even better. Thoth, by far the hardest character to siege against in Smite.
So maniaKK going to try and split the difference a little bit, draw some attention to the mid lane, wrap around the side. But maniaKK's in a bit of an awkward spot now, may need some support. Callus has been brought to his attention. Cacklers have used on maniaKK, but where's the follow-up? There it is! Final Judgment used, and emilZy though with beautiful peel.
Oh, maniaKK not going to be able to make it out. Deathwalker puts him down. Yammyn gets into the wall and separates himself from the team fight nicely. Ice almost gets ticked down, but comes back for the shell.
emilZy falls down. Clay minions did some damage, but not enough. Now the chase is on. Callus with a blink towards adapting, but it means that emilitoo's going to be surrounded. Help out, vote boys. Stop just watching. Aegis for emilitoo, enough of a moment, but there we go. The classic rival, the classic defense. Probably the greatest team on defense that Smite has ever seen.
Without a doubt in my mind, they are. And that's where it really becomes that much harder. You got to earn it against rival just about every time, and against Thoth as well. It's really, really difficult. It surprises me that NRG has really struggled with one concept that a lot of teams have done very well so far
Sieging.
in Season 5. It's not sieging in general, but it's pushing simultaneous waves. Adapting is sitting on the same wave as NRG pushing just about every time. Let him split a little bit, split the focus.
Seen this before, pushed down mid, looking for a Phoenix, damage through the wall from Vote. He's just swinging away. Middle Phoenix down. If you're just tuning in, we might have a game.
We might have one here. Finally, a sign of life from Team Rival in a win condition, most importantly.
Watch adapting. I was just keeping an eye on whether he's going to go for that blink to continue the pressure. But Rival get what they're after there. Very good defense against a Fire Giant NRG. And the response is a middle Phoenix for them in response. The worst thing for NRG, though, is one more failed Phoenix push like that.
Yeah.
And Rival could end the game.
Rival could end the game, and they have to at least get a kill onto Vote. Vote is the one that you make sure, Vote, Wlfy, those two you have to make sure you kill. Even if you don't get Phoenix, even if you don't end the game, if you feel like you're losing that team fight and you're going to die anyways, you have to try and get one of these two dead, because if both survive, even without a tank with them, they might be able to end just with those two in a fire minion wave.
Is there a reason for Rival to be on defense at this point the way they are? They've got a fire minion wave pushing in mid. They've got all their Phoenixes still standing, not under pressure. Should they be contesting and looking after this Fire Giant?
No, because think of the last few Fire Giant fights, how those have gone. It's been Rival falling to NRG in those spots. Where the reason they win that fight is because Serqet is so much worse at fighting in lane. Nuwa worse at fighting in lane. This composition from NRG is so much better at taking fights around Fire Giant. Why give them that advantage in that spot? I like Rival sitting back. An enhanced Fire Giant is scary, sure, but put me under Phoenix with a Thoth over taking a Fire Giant fight any day of the week.
I would like to see NRG, though, send Yammyn to a different lane and just pressure that side of the map.
Yes,
the moment he gets rotated on, he can come to the team.
Even if you aren't set, even if you just send them to push up waves and then join up in order to help siege, it's about the fact that NRG has no pressure on the map whatsoever other than the wave they're in, so it's very easy for Rival to funnel all resources into the same spot. You have to put simultaneous pressure. Even if adapting, blinks in, gets a relic or two, and then is able to escape. Right now, the way NRG's been playing it, he has to immediately head back and back out of that fight. If, however, NRG were to push up a minion wave in mid or in right-hand side in that last engagement, maybe adapting can scurry over, and while Rival is cleaning up the remains of that team fight, get NRG a Phoenix. They've got to simultaneously push some waves. That left wave is way too far up. There should be someone there pushing that.
And I wonder if they will head that way. Gold Fury's available too. At the moment, they're heading through towards the red buff, which is currently down. Obviously trying to strip away some of those buffs in the jungle. Very important. Red buff, more useful to a mage than a Fire Giant.
It also allows you to just wait and play very patiently with Fire Giants, because your waves will start to build up around the Phoenixes to the point where just an extra auto attack or two would guarantee that it falls down, and that gives you a great engage window that the enemy team has to respect.
5 members strong of energy in the mid lane once more. iceicebaby on the right has just pushed out that wave for a second or two, and in pretty good position to re-enter this fight if required. There is wards in the jungle for energy though, and iceicebaby needs to do a good job of de-warding that and drawing some attention in that direction. Energy though still happy to stay as 5.
It's also hard to siege the middle Phoenix because when you're sieging a side Phoenix, it's very easy to tell where the mage is going to be. They're always going to be hugging the wall opposite of the lane that you're in. So if you're sieging left Phoenix, they'll be on right wall, and vice versa. In mid, Wlfy and Vote can spread out much more easily and have way more room to operate.
maniaK's gonna walk in, and him and Yammyn took a lot more pokes than bargained for there. Quick reset from NRG because emilZy does have wisps to heal them back up. Alongside that fire giant, red buff spawns, speed buff spawns, adapting goes to the speed in his own. And the battle of the jungler's main shoe, but iceicebaby being respectful there. Just in case, NRG were right behind.
Speed buff, we joke about it a lot. Not worth losing a LAN over.
No.
Definitely the right idea.
No. And that's the situation NRG find themselves in here. They win this game, and they win the LAN.
Big wave on the left-hand side right now, starting to build up, and NRG, I guess, was patient enough, and it happened en natural. They didn't need to head over and help out at all.
They're just trying to lure Rival out just a hair of a second. Yammyn's going to get a bit of poke onto that Phoenix and dash away. Deathwalker baited in a little bit.
Oh, no.
And gets evaporated before he can get his arm off. iceicebaby looks to the backline, but Yammyn takes the sky in defense. Callus has to shield himself, but still going to fall down to maniaKK. And the vent anger. Phoenix on the left-hand side falls. The base is broken. Adapt is looking at the carries. The carries survive. The Phoenix does not. Middle Phoenix exposed.
This should be all three Phoenixes here for NRG. Deathwalker just... He's Glad Shield, Soul Eater, Brawlers, Beatstick, Wukong, and playing like he's a Sobek. He just can't frontline.
Will jump in just to try and get a couple more relics. Won't find anything this time round, but two Phoenixes down. And NRG feel confident. They're going to try and take the Summer Finals.
They've got it. They've got it.
One of the best ways we've seen in a while. 3-0. Done deal. Let's go home.
Easy game, easy life, I think applies here, doesn't it? NRG dropped one game all week. And it was the first time they played against Space Station. Never even came close to losing one after that.
3-0, says emilZy. So free are the word choices there for anyone that needs some lip.
Was that the F word he used?
So free, yes.
Okay, that's good.
There may have been another one there, but it was definitely so free. That's what I read. And even though they may have a little bad blood between them, they will be respectful enough to give each other handshakes of, well...
Look, you don't have to like your opponent, but NRG knows, even though they made it look easy, that Rival's a really, really good team, and they'll show them their due respect. But man, it's surgical from NRG. I mean, they really made that look easy. I really expected to be here. I was predicting NRG coming into this tournament. I was predicting NRG yesterday, but I expected to be here a little bit longer than that.
Two-time world champions really showing why they were once upon a time two-time world champions. It's not over, though. The world championship's around the corner now, and I'm already like, I'd tick the box for NRG here.
Give me some more, man. I got to see some more LAN NRG play. These guys have stepped up once again, and they had a year where they didn't win. They still made it pretty far in the world championships, but they didn't win at all. And already I feel like they have their target on their back, maybe even more than United does right now.
Next chat, you guys get to vote on who you think was MVP for that game, as well as I wonder who will take that one.
I don't know, man. Yammyn looked really, really good in that game yet again. emilitoo did well. Everyone did. Take your pick. I mean, the LAN MVP, in my mind, I would probably vote for emilitoo because he was so critical in turning their games around where it looked like they might lose, the one or few where that was the case. But Yammyn play, I don't know, dude. They're all sick. Give it to someone. I won't be mad.
Take it in just 3 games. What a great performance from them. We're going to throw it to the desk to break down the set entirely and end the day.
3-0 for NRG.
Wow.
Just wow. Tom, Taco here, and Finch to break this one down. But I think I said it earlier. Sometimes we do the breakdown. And sometimes the teams just break down. Rival not looking like themselves here. Or maybe NRG just looking like the better squad.
Actions will always speak louder than words. And this time around, NRG were not willing to take any chances. Complete shutout to Team Rival, not even allowing them the slightest opportunity to have some comeback potential. I think that this game, for what it's worth, probably would have ended a little bit sooner had, as Finch so kindly said, maniaKK been at his keyboard for that one.
A bit curious on that Phoenix push the very first time where he ends up coming around. Very important. iceice, I believe, grabs his Magai's cloak early on in that. He still continues to wrap around. Then the rotation comes over from Callus as well. They control him and kill him, and that's kind of where that fight gets away from them. Next time, a little bit better positioning, I think, for maniaKK, and the fight goes their way.
Yeah, I mean, just pure dominance here, and Game number 3, MVP is Yammyn. I'm not going to dress it up. I'm not going to say it fancy. I'm not going to give you any interesting turn of phrase because Yammyn just did the damn thing. This guy came out, he put all of his everything on the line, and I mean, what do you say about this performance?
Third time's the charm. That's what it comes down to, I think, because the Chernobog really had some standout moments. I think that combined alongside of the rest of the mobility from NRG, it was just a little bit overwhelming for Rival to actually try and deal with. iceicebaby seemed a little bit flustered and lost at times even when trying to make a decision as to whether he should try and commit to Yammyn. Do I go on adapting and interrupt him from fully committing onto Wlfy? It was just so many different approaches that NRG had to actually initiate that really caused some struggles for Rival.
Yeah, and Yammyn made it really hard for him to be the one that ends up being the target throughout the fight. He seemed very comfortable in the Chernobog. If he hasn't played as little as he's told us, I'd be very surprised. He used the ability to go into the wall very well. He would often dash out aggressively. If there was like a couple low health targets, even just one, he would dive past others to try and find that kill. He was such a nuisance for them in those team fights. He was a very big part of why Rival had such a hard time.
Well, NRG played absolutely fantastically. Not only were they able to make plays of their own, but they were able to capitalize off of some of Rival's mistakes. To go a little bit deeper, we've got Mob Boss Tolly.
Thank you, FDOT. So trying to break down this game, Rival did a good job defending their left side Phoenix, and it was a game of patience. If we take a look at this replay in particular where maniaKK was trying to siege in, so he's aggressing this way, and he gets really aggressive to the point where if we pause right here in this particular moment, Callus is going to use his ultimate, and then we're going to also see Wlfy fire right on top of him there. And then we can resume from here. And then also on the left-hand side of your screen, if we could pause right here as well, Deathwalker doing a very fantastic job zoning away both Yammyn and emilitoo from saving maniaKK. And look how out of position maniaKK is in this particular moment. He was trying to make a play to enable this left side Phoenix siege, but everything went south. emilZy couldn't really get a good angle going. Adapting was too far in the back line. And as a result, the rest of this team fight we could just resume goes in Rival's favor because of all the patience. Some global ultimates being used, the iceicebaby playing cleanup, Deathwalker just zoning the backline. And this was the waiting game. They found 3 picks holding on to the left side Phoenix. This even enabled Rival to get the middle Phoenix immediately after. But unfortunately, Rival couldn't seal the deal after this play. They still gave up the Fire Giant shortly after. And then Deathwalker, after making a great play initially, we could pause right here, just got way too ambitious. He dashes into 5 people, and there's no one around him. Like, everyone is way, way, way back on the right-hand side, and we can't even see anybody. They're, like, all the way there. And as a result, after this pick, we could just resume it. Deathwalker couldn't be the hero that Rival really needed, and then NRG winning the Summer LAN. Gonna throw it back to the desk here for FDOT and the rest of the crew to break it down.
Thanks a lot there, Comrade Alexeyanok. And as we sort of reflect on that one, even with a couple of moments, Rival just was not able to bounce back. Finch, I mean, I might be asking you to identify the intangible here, but what was it that NRG had inside of them?
I think that NRG had the aggression in this set. That's sort of the way that I would describe it. And they had the later game compositions. They had the team fights. So yes, Rival, I feel like, did a good job in all 3 games of keeping even with them early on. But then it was when NRG started taking fights around the objectives, forcing Rival in, spreading them out, especially because, I mean, they just continually got the Chernobog, right? I mean, he's able to rotate into these fights, control so much space, had too much damage, too much safety. All the check boxes you could want, right, essentially they had because of that Chernobog. And
all jokes aside, maniaKK, even though he might have had a little bit of a blackout moment underneath that left-hand Phoenix Siege initially, I think he really stepped up his game from the start of this LAN performance to now, because it's almost like a night and day difference with the way that he was actually able to not only consistently initiate for his team, but also be a massive peeling factor for his front or backline carries.
Yeah, maniaKK pulled it out towards the end, and everybody on NRG just looked damn good. Standing by, Hindu and Aggro talking to the Summer Champions.
Your Summer Split Champions here, NRG. First of all, congratulations, guys. This is to whoever wants to answer it. you guys seem to really want to 3-0 Rival, and it felt like it was expected almost. Is that the way you guys felt coming into this last set?
Honestly, there was no pressure on us in this set because like they have to win 2 best-of-5s to beat us, and like we were just gonna go with our game plan. Yeah, no pressure.
Okay, so we've seen it in practice of how you've just performed now, but talk me through what happened through spring to now. What has changed with you guys? 'Cause obviously, spring wasn't this level from you, and now all of a sudden it looks like the old energy's back again.
I think in general, just a bit more discipline in everything we do. Like when it came to practice, we literally like, you know, we had rules for that you had to commit to, and if you didn't, you had to pay beer money fund. So, you know.
A win-win, basically.
Win-win.
Certainly paid off for you guys. Ro, I'll have to ask you to step forward a little bit so I can hear from you.
Off the booster seat?
Yeah, off the booster seat. I wasn't going to call you out for it. What has it been like working with this team, and how do you think you impacted this LAN victory?
I mean, I don't know how I impacted it, but it can't be easier, right? You have like 5 of the best minds in Smite, especially emilZy joining. When I found out emilZy was joining the team, I know they're laughing, but when I found out emilZy was joining the team, I thought emilZy would be one of the best coaches in the league. Yeah. So when I thought I can be one of the best coaches as well, you combine 2 of them, then my job becomes a lot easier. So drafting is a full collaborative effort, and like, I know Alpha Jackal wasn't here this time, but the way we like destroy drafting, they tried something new every single game and it never worked. It's just like, it makes my job so easy to have this many minds on one team. But yeah, I don't know, it's been easy really.
What for the rest of you guys, how has Ro impacted your team culture and the way that you guys work together?
It's just like something we didn't have for a really long time in season 4 was just a proper coach. We did try out some people and like it didn't click properly, but we realized how important it is to have a coach, and not having one is basically having a player down. Like, you need that person with the outside perspective that can look at the game from an unbiased point of view and really give you good feedback, and that's what Ro does for us, and it's really important.
One of the last questions, did any of you get surprised by any of the level of competition here this week? Was any team standing out better than you expected, or worse, so to speak?
I mean, I'm just glad we don't have to play United because they fucking destroyed us in scrims.
You got followed.
Arena.
Well, it's time to present the MVP for the tournament, and this time it's going to go to Yammyn for his performance in the mid, so you can have your trophy. Would you like to say a few words, Yammyn?
Another one. That looks nice.
That's a good way of responding.
Yeah, man, your God pool, I mean, it's always been pretty big, but it feels like this season 5 is very similar to what you guys had in season 2, where you have your hyper carry mages like the Thoth, like the Giannis, but you can also flex to hunters like Artemis or Chernobog. Do you think that your level of play has elevated because of the meta, or do you think that you have helped shape the meta with your play?
I don't even know what that question means, but I think it's really nice to have like to be able to flex guards like Bog. Oh shit. It's really nice being able to flex guards like Bog and you and stuff, just in between, so it makes it really hard for the enemy team to pick and ban against you.
We've heard a lot from Adapting and emilitoo during this week, but this is the first time we've gotten a chance to talk to you. They've said that this feels like a team very similar to your last Worlds runs, but with a higher ceiling. Do you feel the same way?
Definitely, yeah.
So obviously the goal coming into this LAN was win the LAN, right? What's the plan next? What's your next goal? What's the next plan for NRG?
I mean, we're not gonna stop practicing. Like we have
smacked.
that we gotta focus on the fall split. I think that's what matters the most to us in general. Like, so we're gonna be fully focused for that.
Yeah. Congratulations from everybody here at hi-rez Studios. That's it for you guys. I don't know what you're gonna do in the afternoon now. You kind of did that a bit quick.
Oh, I have a sleep, I think maybe.
It's gonna be a long day of drinking.
That sounds like some Europeans. Back to the desk then. Thanks so much, NRG.
Fantastic stuff from NRG, and however they celebrate, certainly worth it and earned. These guys put everything on the line, like I said, and just came out with the victory.
And they ended up looking very clean doing it, didn't they? I mean, this is 6-0 when you think about it, when they played Rival earlier and here in the finals. I mean, it did not seem very close at all. And they've been putting in the work. You heard it there from Ro, you heard from them themselves. They refocused, and you could see it.
A long day of hard work, and a long week of hard work, I should say, for the NRG guys. And, well, they've earned their victory celebrations whatever fashion they choose to go forward with. And I think they made that clear. The fall is going to be pretty insane now, because NRG have a very distinct bullseye on their back for the entire region of Europe to try and compete with.
I just want to say that NRG lost a single game.
One.
a single game, Jeff and Barra really steps it up. And that's it. That's it. 2-0 above SEA, 2-0 above Riot. Just out of control here from NRG. Clean was your choice of word, and I'm going to repeat it. NRG just looked so clean, you know, and I really believe that it was Coach Rowe that was a big part of this, whether it was him individually or just the idea of a coach. You heard Kenneth talk about it. Not having a coach is playing a player down, and I think that made a huge impact.
And this is going to be important for them. We just had that midseason update. It's going to be almost an entirely different game when you go into it. So if NRG can look that dominant here in summer and continue that in fall, that makes it even the more impressive. They have that bullseye on their back, yes, but it's a lot of adjusting everybody's going to have to do. There's certainly still a chance, I think, to catch up to them.
Yeah, the guys are going to work hard in fall to make it to hi-rez Expo. You don't got to work hard. You just got to buy tickets, hi-rezexpo.com. And whoever is celebrating, they'll be celebrating at the after party. You want to come down, 50 beans. November 18th, we'll be partying at main event. Tons of games, tons of drinks, tons of people, tons of everything really to do there. And you get to see Taco Dab.
No, that's Finch's job.
Yeah?
I'm fully convinced that is actually
that's a
Finch's
good dab.
entire.
Yeah.
Oh, the camera wasn't there.
Can't believe they missed that, man. That was one of my best.
Unfortunate.
You should try again.
I might, but I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be able to top that. I just embarrass myself. You know, I don't want to. It was so amazing what I was able to get done.
I think we might even have a solo camera angle for this, won't we?
I don't think they do. I think you're in it. I think you're in it
this
as well,
way
so.
to be fully out of the shot,
Yeah.
and that'll be all you.
Go
All right,
ahead.
I'll go ahead and I'll do the dab on it for you guys. Okay. Oh man, what you guys? I can't. Man, I did it here too, and oh wow,
That was a legitimate one, by the way.
happen?
Like, there's no
Oh,
pranks inside of that. That
man.
was actually
Bummer.
all Finch.
That's a bummer.
I'm going to go. You guys can stay, but I'm going to go. In all seriousness, what a fantastic week this was. I think we got a great look at the Latin American teams and the Brazilian teams really stepping up. Southeast Asia and Oceania have some stuff to work on. North America's got some stuff to work on. Europe, they're putting in the work and they're doing it. NRG, take this one. Congratulations to Yammyn, our MVP. Thank you, Taco. Thank you, Finch. Thank you, Totally with the Telestrator. Thank you, our commentators, Ryan and Hindu Man. Everybody behind the scenes and everybody in chat. Peace and much love to you.
Peach it.